So I want to go back to DC. In leaving DC, the one thing I told myself when I got on the plane, I could already tell that my life was changing. It was this weird thing. I sat in the ER for about 5 minutes. It was Friday the 13th. It was a full harvest moon. Like, it was a lot of weird things going on in the ER. And, you know, so I began to write this list. This is true story. I began writing a list about what was filling my tank, what were my values. And I could see things emerging, things I wanted to change about my profession, things I wanted to change about my being, just how I was showing up, things I wanted to change at home. And, you know, I got on the plane and sat down, and I was like, I might be the first person that just got some sense knocked into them in Washington, D.C. in quite a long time. But there are a lot of people with good sense that are in D.C. quite often. You can pick any date. So let's just pick August 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. He stood before the mall, hundreds of thousands of people for that time, that was incredible, telling people about a vision he had. This one man with one vision that was contagious. This contagion went all over the world. People were there at that moment fighting for jobs and for equality. Yet the lessons of Dr. King and the movement that he built last for generations, and they still inspire us today. January 2017, millions this time. Millions again gathered in Washington, D.C. They were women who gathered in solitude, organized by 6 women, one being my friend Janae Ingram, who was head of logistics. They did not know how many people were going to come, but they knew they had one message. They wanted change. They wanted to take action, and they knew they were in charge. What ended up happening were millions of women all across the world showed up for them. Marches were held that same day all over the globe. And so what they started thinking that women would join them in solidarity was a movement for people they knew and for people they will never know. Kids, students showed up in DC this time. They were mourning. They were there in honor of their friends who could not be there, friends who were slain in Florida. Yet these kids were so brave. The movement they started now is 300 chapters wide in our country and is known as March for Our Lives. Leaders turn moments into movements. If it's 1, 6, or many, it just takes that one person to stand up and say, if not me, then who? So you all are familiar with these things. Here in Louisiana, the news always is about budget cuts, unmet social needs, floods, hurricanes, safety issues, education. The headlines never seem to dimmer. Yet, some of you might know, you don't really need just one action. You don't really need just one thing. More than action, you need a movement.